The UFC's Paramount debut, an unexpected interim title fight between Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett headlines the card, with Ilia Topuria saying that he's going to be out for the first quarter of the year, dealing with some personal issues involving the ex-wife, his children. I want to go into that during today's video and even bring up some of his ex's Instagram posts that have me thinking she's looking to push towards full custody over the kids. Now, of course, I'm here to talk about the banger matchups as well and give you guys my early predictions. At the top, as I said, Gaethje Pimblett, co-main event, Harrison Nunes, which is a super fight in the women's weight classes. Sean O'Malley and Song Yadong going after it. We got Where's Waldo versus Derrick Lewis going after it. Arnold Allen and Jean Silva, Grasso and Namajunas, and we even have Umar Nurmagomedov and Deiveson Figueiredo. UFC 324 is beyond stacked, and it is a deep card and a damn good one to kick off this Paramount deal, but there is some disappointment that we got Ilia Topuria not fighting for a while and then the UFC scrambling to an interim championship. Also announced, look at this, Volkanovski versus Lopes 2. I had a bad feeling this would be it, as opposed to like Movzar or Lerone Murphy. Not that we don't all love a Diego Lopes fight, but we saw this fight not long ago. I want to talk about every single matchup and every single situation. I'll have timestamps in the description and in the comments up pinned at the top. But we're first going to talk about Ilia Topuria for a moment. So the rumor mill has it that Ilia Topuria's ex-wife is looking to take 50% of what he has. And on top of that, push for full custody. Now, I was curious to look at some of the recent Instagram posts and read what was said by her. And you can read here some things. Obviously, there's a translation, right? Because, you know, this is not all in English, but I'll bring it over and I'll drag it. We have, I don't know, just something worth looking at, right? What I see here is that you can't heal those who don't want to be healed, no matter how good you think they are, no matter how much you tell them. And if they don't want to heal, they won't. I feel like this is very much pushing at Ilia Topuria. Someone who is hurt with life can also drag you into the abyss, because the negativity in the world is much stronger than the positivity in the world. Over time, I understood that envy has nothing to do with what you possess, but with what you represent. Envy is born from emptiness. Others feel you to see it full. Like, this seems like pushed at her soon-to-be ex-husband, right? And then also, cryptic post again with the kid, right? A mother's true superpower is not being alert to danger. It's building a world where her daughter can grow up brave, free, and unafraid. There is nothing in the world I love more than Javi, which is nice, right? But I just wonder if these are like pushes towards a case that's looking to be built, that like Ilia Topuria is an abuser. And that is why it's not just, hey, we're getting divorced, we're not working out, but like we finished on good terms. It's like he has to put pretty much all of his energy into, you know, the lawyers and whatnot and building a case to keep his rights to seeing his children and hopefully keep, you know, some of his wealth. I don't know, something worth you know, thinking about and looking into. Like, we don't want to have an Ilia Topuria going out there and fighting when he's got a divorce on his mind. So it'd be a suboptimal circumstance. But this does fuck the division up, because now we got an interim title. And obviously the Islam Makhachev super fight, like, that's probably out of the picture. Who I feel bad for, though, is also like Arman Tsarukyan. He's going to probably need one more fight before getting put into a championship fight now. Because if the timeline of return is not Q1, but maybe what? Does he come back at the White House card? Is Tsarukyan then going to sit out and try and get the next shot after that? He'll be sitting duck on the #1 contender spot for too long. I think he's probably better off just fighting somebody. I don't want to make this too much of a drama-based video, but the reason Ilia Topuria is not fighting isn't because of a physical injury. It is because of maybe a bit of a heart injury, right? With the strain of love falling through, but also, you know, fighting for his kids. And he wants to focus on his children in this spot, which I take it as the custody battle is soon to begin with the divorce amongst Ilia Topuria. Now, to jump into something that's a little lighter, like, let's talk about the actual matchups, okay? I want to discuss the fights. I want to give you guys my early prediction and reaction. So, Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett is, I think, a very cool fight. I really am intrigued by the matchup a lot. I think the UFC, if you have to scramble for something, it's like Gaethje was already pushing the, hey, if I'm not fighting for the belt, I'm retiring. They're like, okay, we'll meet you in the middle. We'll give you the interim championship chance against Paddy the Baddy. I look at this fight with Paddy Pimblett, and I'm intrigued because we have yet to see Pimblett fight somebody near the striking level of Justin Gaethje. I mean, Gaethje's hands are tremendous, and his leg kicks are off the chain. He's got big knockout power. He does damage. He's a violence-first fighter, and he's coming from a background of wrestling as well. Even though he doesn't use wrestling offensively much in his MMA fights, from a defensive standpoint, like it's not like Justin Gaethje is a guy just tipping over as you shoot a takedown. Now, to be fair, Paddy Pimblett mauled former high-level wrestler Michael Chandler, and Paddy is riding high off of, an undefeated UFC streak and the fact that he's, 30 years old in his prime. By the time we get to the fight, he'll be 31. He's really hit his stride now. And I do think Paddy is a problem on the ground for Justin Gaethje. But when you look at the striking arsenal that Justin Gaethje brings to the table, I'll be damned if he couldn't land some shots on Paddy Pimblett. But here's the caveat. Justin Gaethje's 37. Justin Gaethje, beat Fiziev. Nice fight, but there's not a big grappling threat. Fiziev is not, slick and elite on the mat. It's just kickboxing, and it was competitive, but he won. Got knocked out bad against Max Holloway. He's been fighting like once a year. I really feel as though if Paddy Pimblett can get a dominant position on the ground against Justin Gaethje, he could give him a lot of trouble from top. I lean Paddy Pimblett as my early prediction for the fight because I do think Paddy has deceptively quick stand-up. Obviously, Scousers don't get knocked out. Paddy's known for a very good chin. I could see Justin Gaethje catching him and hurting him, but I think if they go to the mat and Paddy's taking the back or something like that, something screams submission. And I think Paddy Pimblett shows off the high-level BJJ in this fight to become the interim champion of this lightweight division. And I don't know why. I just had a vision of like Arman Tsarukyan absolutely busting holes in his wall and fuming at the fact that Paddy Pimblett and Gaethje is for the interim belt, and he is not going to have a title shot for a while. Now, Dana White said after he pulled out the Islam fight, too, he's going to need 2 more. So he's going to have to fight somebody different. Potentially, BSD could find himself in a fight against Arman Tsarukyan and a #1 contender chance for himself to change his damn career completely. Regardless, enough about Arman Tsarukyan. We'll focus on who's at hand. I like this fight. Okay, it's a cool fight. I thought Gaethje versus Pimblett made a ton of sense as the #1 contender fight, with Arman Tsarukyan being merit-based, the most deserving challenger. But it's still a dope matchup. Like, yes, it is not what I wanted. Ilia Topuria versus Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje or obviously Arman Tsarukyan. That would be a perfect scenario to kick off the, UFC Paramount deal. But I think this is like a decent second option. If it's not going to be Aspinall versus Gane, if it's not going to be Pereira Ulberg, I think that Paddy Pimblett is a rising star and he brings the powerhouse of the UK. Justin Gaethje, obviously the most entertaining fighter or one of the most entertaining fighters of all time. I like this matchup. And I predict Paddy, probably a slight favorite with a clear grappling advantage. I could see him using the jits. I could see him working some ground and pound. I don't know, man. I'm thinking about Habib Nurmagomedov triangle, and I'm like, Paddy's got a pretty slick triangle he hit on Bobby Green. Granted, he club and sub, but I could see Paddy the Baddy catching Gaethje on the ground with a triangle. I could see him jumping towards a back take into a rear naked strangle. I'm thinking Paddy Pimblett wins this fight by submission against Justin Gaethje, becomes the interim champion, and then we get to see that damn Ilia Topuria Pimblett beef finally resolved. And I guess then they'll, advertise it as champ versus champ. The interim championship for Justin Gaethje, though, does it mean much besides more pay? I guess it's more pay. But Gaethje was the interim champ already. Can you imagine, like, two-time interim UFC champion, Justin Gaethje? You really want double interim belts around your shoulders? You know what I'm saying? He'd much rather be already fighting for the damn world title. But I'd rather an interim title and a true chance to prove you're the number one contender than nothing else. Even though Arman Tsarukyan's the guy, I think that it's a good fight. That's really where I'm trying to go with this. It's a good fight. Am I underwhelmed? Yes. Am I disappointed? Yes. Did Ilia Topuria's divorce ruin UFC 324 in some way? Yes. Is it still a good card? Yes. I'm not going to fucking freak out too much about it, but nah, it's frustrating though. Because I was really hyped. I was like, oh, Topuria's it. Topuria Pimblett is the fight they were going to put on. I predicted it. If you watch my video from a couple days ago, rather it was yesterday, I gave my predictions for, or rather, not even predictions. I gave my take on what I think the perfect UFC 324 would be, and it was Pimblett versus the side of Topuria, because I knew they weren't going to do the Tsarukyan fight. But instead, it's Gaethje, and that's cool. It's going to be a good matchup. I think Pimblett shows out, and then Pimblett will be a more deserving challenger to gold with, the win over Justin Gaethje, regardless of an interim belt. It's not the end of the world. It's not optimal, right? It's not best case scenario, but it's still going to be good shit. I think so. It's still going to be a good one. Still going to be a good fight. Still going to be a cool matchup. And I think Paddy Pimblett is still going to show out for the Batty fan base and take home an interim championship. Now, co-main event, I heard rumor mill, oh, it's going to be the main event. I was like, no way. They're doing the DEI co-main event. They got to show Harrison and Nunes. Paramount debut, they got to showcase the highest level of the ladies. They got to do it, chat. They have to. I have to tell you guys, Amanda Nunes not having fought in a while, that's worrying me a little bit. Amanda Nunes' last fight, I believe it was 3 years ago. Let me check. Let me check when Amanda Nunes' last fight was. Let's see. I'm going to bring it up on Tapology. It's been a minute, though. She retired from the sport June of 2023. So we're heading into 2026. So 2.5 years or so since the last time we saw her go after, a little more than 2.5 years, when she beat Irene Aldana by a dominant decision. Versus now Kayla Harrison, who obviously cuts a ton of weight for this division, but something's just whispering to me that this is a hard matchup for Nunes. Nunes is the GOAT, though. Like, if anybody can come back from a long layoff and absolutely show out, it would be Amanda Nunes. But I do worry that Kayla Harrison is, like, at a different mental state. Like, this is all she's doing. Like, right now, what? Yeah, not the craziest activity. June, October, April. So, she fought twice in 2024. Once in 2025. Now it'll be 2026, but still less than a year since she turned it around. I'm thinking about the fight, and I'm like, can Kayla Harrison get to dominant position and control Nunes? Can she outmuscle a Nunes that hasn't fought in 2.5 years? Because if she can, I think there is a clear pathway then for Nunes. Now, if they are striking, I mean, there's a reach advantage of 3 inches. Nunes is a way better boxer. Kayla Harrison's chin's going to get put to the test. Do I go against the greatest female fighter of all time and pick Kayla Harrison to pull it off the what if? She gets on top, but Nunes is good everywhere. Nunes hits like a fucking Mack truck too. Early prediction, I feel a little bit twisted on this one. I pick against the GOATs, and then I end up getting cooked every time I do it, like with Shevchenko, too. Early lean is tough. Striking is Amanda Nunes. Top control is Kayla. But can Kayla consistently get her down? Can Kayla dominate position? Does Kayla have the chin? I mean, she's never really fought somebody that hits like Amanda Nunes. Nunes could put her out, but Nunes off for a while and then Kayla in dominant position. I'm going to ride with Kayla Harrison to pull off the submission upset in this fight. I know some folks are going to hate that I'm going against Nunes. I might change my mind as we get closer to the fight. I want to go back, watch some tape, and refresh on everything before I drop an official pick. But early lean, I'd rather active Kayla Harrison, who's going to be the better top control-based grappler, versus Amanda Nunes, who's great everywhere. And as I'm picking against Amanda Nunes, I feel stupid because I really feel like she could sting Harrison up on the feet and stop takedowns. And if it's kickboxing, Nunes can win. If Nunes still has the rhythm, if she still got it, Nunes can win. The problem is, did that layoff limit her a little bit? I don't know now. Hold on. Really think about it. I'm meditating on this one. I knew this one was going to be twisted for me. I really want Amanda Nunes to win. I'm going to pick Amanda Nunes. Now, I'm seeing something. I'm seeing the takedown defense and the striking being a level above Kayla. Yeah, this is one that, obviously you'll get my pick the Sunday before, and we'll talk about it in the lead up. I definitely want to, I don't know, I just want to ponder more on it. I want to just rewatch some Nunes fights just to feel that energy. It's just when she is on, she's so fucking good in all areas. And I think Kayla's solid with pressure grappling, but Nunes got a good reach advantage. She's a strong girl too. She can wrestle. Definitely can out kickbox her. Kayla's just a beast, a brutality beast. But is beating Juliana Pena by submission at that point, is it that big of a thing? It's not like Nunes didn't dominate the fuck out of her for 5 rounds. And that was years ago. That was a more prime Juliana Pena too. I'm kind of flip-flopping, but you know what? No, I'm gonna trust my fucking balls of steel in this one. I'm going Amanda Nunes for now. I think she can win it. I love this high-level ladies fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing them tangle. I really think it's a good matchup. I think we're gonna find out. And I do feel like Nunes could be one of those girls that doesn't fight in 2.5 years and looks better and feels like less pressure after being out for a while. Sean O'Malley, Song Yadong. So let me tell you about this one right here. I said this is going to be the feature fight. I thought it would be. And, I heard some rumor mills that it would. And I was like, yeah, it's perfect. This is perfect. If Song were to pull off a win, Song for the title, new face for Merab Dvalishvili, that's always a good thing. But Sean O'Malley's slick from the outside. Sean O'Malley's technical as fuck. Sean O'Malley's smooth with his boxing, with good footwork. I think Song Yadong is going to get caught chasing a little bit. I think Song Yadong is going to be frustrated by O'Malley. I like Sean O'Malley's stand-up a lot. I know it's easy to look at, the Merab losses, but, bro, it's Merab. Not to say I don't count Merab losses. Obviously, there's still L's on the damn record. But let's look at Song Yadong reach real quick. I think it's 60-something. What's his reach, man? So look at this stat, okay? 3 inches taller as O'Malley, but he also is bringing a 5-inch reach disadvantage. And I feel like he's the better long-range striker. And there's not a substantial threat of grappling from Song Yadong. He can mix in a couple takedowns, but he doesn't have such a dominating style where I see him breaking O'Malley on the mat. It is kind of crazy that Song Yadong is literally just 27 years old. With the amount of experience he has, he'll be 28 by the time they fight, but the amount of pro experience, over 30 pro fights, being 27, younger than Sean O'Malley, is kind of nuts. But I think that the Sugar Show from distance should look sharp. I think Sean O'Malley can bounce back on this one in a close fight. I don't think it's a walkthrough. I don't think it's absolute manhandling. I think 29-28 O'Malley sneaks by in a competitive fight where his distance striking looks sharp. I think he can catch Song down the center. I think he can work some good jabs. And I also think teeps to the body could work here, and leg kicks and a lot of lateral movement. And I think Song will look to pressure wrestle a bit. I think O'Malley can hit some switches, can potentially get back up to his feet, and then outstrike him in a competitive back and forth affair and get a win. I think Sean O'Malley's going to get the hand raise. I'm going Sugar Show to win this one. I don't think all things are over with for Sean O'Malley yet. Against a power hitter in Song Yadong and a scary, explosive savage. This is a dope fight. I love this. Yeah, I think O'Malley's going to win it. I'm going Sugar Show for the W, man. I think Song still was getting touched a little by Cejudo. We've seen him lose. Sandhagen handled him on the ground, so it's not like his grappling is elite. I think Sean O'Malley wins. Next fight on the card. Derrick Lewis versus Where's Waldo. I said I want Derrick Lewis on the main card. I want him on the main card of this numbered event. Okay, I needed it. And I thought that Waldo was going to be fighting Curtis Blades potentially next week or the week after, because the UFC was working on getting him a fight this year. But instead, he waits till January 24th. And I said, listen, I would love to see Derrick Lewis and Waldo. Derrick Lewis and Waldo, both on 2-fight winning streaks. Both guys boxing heavy styles, both guys power. Where Waldo has the edge is Waldo's chin. Waldo seems to have a bit of that iron jaw. And we saw Derrick Lewis dealing with, at the time, a very durable Tai Tuivasa unload bombs on him, eventually gas and get put out. If Derrick Lewis can't put Waldo out of there in the first round, as Waldo finds his range, as Waldo starts getting some straights through, he's a difficult matchup for Derrick Lewis because of his technical boxing prowess and the fact that he is not a small heavyweight. Waldo is a 265-pound heavyweight, just like Derrick Lewis. Does he cut as much weight? No, but he's a full-size heavyweight, and he's a former heavyweight pro boxer. I think Waldo is more technical in boxing than Delu. I think Delu has more one-punch stopping power, but Waldo gets to the target with more accuracy, and if he lands his right hand, he has really started to find timing on it. He can put out pretty much anybody on the planet. I think we see Where's Waldo knock out Derrick Lewis here. I mean, if Derrick Lewis somehow goes out and wins, I'll tell you, Derrick Lewis is like insta back in the mix and running for a title shot because Derrick Lewis just sells like that. Derrick Lewis is just that type of guy where, you know, if you get him on a 3-fight win streak, like you have to put him in the running for gold. I feel like Where's Waldo is going to be a sharp blade in this one. And I think Where's Waldo continues his ascent up the rankings, knockout over Gaziev, knockout over Deliha. And I think a knockout over Derrick Lewis is live. Like D-Lou hits like a Mack truck, but it's not like he's never been put out before. Like he got knocked out by Matt Mitrione years ago. He got knocked out by Sean Jordan years ago. You know, fights that people forget about. Mark Hunt put him away. Tai Tuivasa more recently put him out. I think we're going to see Where's Waldo land on Derrick Lewis's chin. I think he'll endure a crazy barrage. And of course, Derrick Lewis always has like the truest definition of the puncher's chance, unlike anybody else, because Derrick Lewis hits probably as hard. He's probably harder than everybody in the world. One of the hardest punchers in the history of fighting. But Waldo, a little more precise with the straight shots. I think D-Lou could be caught as he's looking to explode for some big punches. I think Waldo's durability has proven itself nicely, like the Pavlovich fight. He's very hard to hit clean with the high-level boxing chops. He rolls with the punches pretty well. I'd say he's real defensively sound. He's one of the quicker heavyweights, too. I think Where's Waldo's live to knock Derrick Lewis out in like the second round here after Derrick Lewis maybe blows his wad looking for a big KO and just gets caught with a perfect straight punch and down he goes. I'm going Where's Waldo to knock Derrick Lewis out. Battle of two of my favorite heavyweights on the roster. Really, battle of my two favorite heavyweights right now. I'm going to say Where's Waldo is a little slicker, a little more primed, because he is. Where's Waldo is more in his prime than Derrick Lewis. Derrick Lewis still can fight. I mean, listen, Derrick Lewis, 40 or not, it doesn't mean shit. And if Derrick Lewis wins, God bless him. But he's 6 years older. I think that Waldo, being a similar height to Derrick Lewis, helps him a lot. I believe D-Lou's got about a 2-inch reach advantage. Let's see. Derrick Lewis got a 1-inch reach advantage, but he's an inch shorter. 78-inch reach to 79, 6'3 to 6'4. There ain't much of a difference. They both can get to the target, but Waldo's better at getting to the target straight shots, whereas Lewis is better with power shots, more loading up on punches, you know, uppercuts, big overhand shots, occasionally like he did with Rogério de Lima the last time he was on a numbered event, main card, a flying knee. I think Waldo can put him away, but my God, I'm happy to have Derrick Lewis on the main card. A Derrick Lewis main card fight on a numbered event, I got to get used to not saying pay-per-view. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. This is like a win-win for the UFC. Either Derrick Lewis is back in the mix or you got Waldo totally back in the mix, just knocking out the knockout king himself. Perfection. I'm going Waldo to win it. Next fight on the card. Down the card, I should say. Arnold Allen versus Jean Silva is fantastic. Arnold Allen was trolling us. He posted nope on X, like trying to tease, oh no, it's not happening. I was like, he might be trolling. This fight made way too much sense. This is crazy. Jean Silva is a precision killer with his strikes. And up until the Diego Lopes fight, he looked flawless. Now he goes out and he fights a sharp striker in Arnold Allen. And Allen is quick with combinations. He's good everywhere. The one X factor of this fight that needs to be spoken upon is Jean Silva has the stopping power. Jean Silva has more of the knockout chance. If Jean Silva lands, it does more damage. Allen could win a technical fight, mixing in some takedowns, slick kickboxing, avoiding Jean Silva's precision, getting to top position, using some ground and pound. But even against Diego Lopes, as bad as the first round went for Jean Silva, the second round, he was starting to really nail Diego Lopes. And most guys, pretty much everybody, they don't eat those shots. Diego Lopes has the best chin at 145. I think that Jean Silva is going to beat Arnold Allen here. And I think he's probably going to stop him. You also have to add in Arnold Allen. He hasn't fought in a minute, man. When the fuck was his last fight? It was like, I think it was 16 months ago. Arnold Allen, last fight. Let me look at Tapology real quick. Let's check it out. Arnold Allen's last fight was July 2024. Okay. So, year and a half by the time they get to the fight. And it was against Giga Chikadze. He won a decision. He looked real good. And yes, he's got a solid chin. Arnold Allen's chin has never been something to worry about. He's never been knocked out as a professional fighter, but he also has never fought a Jean Silva. I can see Jean Silva being the first guy to put him away. Just because you've never been knocked out doesn't mean you can't. I'm telling you this, though. Arnold Allen's skills make this a fun matchup because the technicality of Allen's striking is there. Like, he can run it with Jean Silva for sure from a technical standpoint. But how I look at the dog in him, how I look at the craziness of the fight, I just think we're going to see Jean Silva nail him with something big. And I think Jean Silva can get back on track with this one. Not an easy fight. I think he'll be tested by Allen in the earlier moments of the fight with the speed. But I do think if Silva lands with the same punches he does on somebody like Diego Lopes, Arnold Allen's getting knocked out. And I'm going to predict Jean Silva gets the comeback KO and gets back in the title trek as well, heading into 2026. The winner of this fight is in a great position at 145 pounds, and I think Jean Silva is going to pull it off. Obviously, one of the fighting nerd stars, and yes, he lost to Diego Lopes, but he's still must-see TV and somebody the UFC is absolutely behind, and they want him in some big fights in 2026, and I think beating an Arnold Allen being a must, but also it'll happen too. Then the next fight down, Alexa Grasso and Thug Rose Namajunas. I had said I want to see this fight after Grasso's last fight, after Namajunas' last fight. I'm like, let's just see them fight each other. You're talking about the former strawweight champ versus a girl who at one point was a strawweight in Grasso. And then obviously Namajunas now flyweight division, not becoming a champ, where Grasso was the champ, has a win over Valentina Shevchenko. Alexa Grasso and Thug Rose is perfect. It's like two girls that have been, amongst the same levels and in the same weight classes for years, but they've just never gotten the chance to fight each other. And finally we get to see it. This is actually one of the coolest women's fights to make right now in the UFC between really two, am I pushing it saying legends of women's MMA, but two really high level women's MMA fighters that are former champions on both sides. Obviously Rose in the conversation as one of the greatest women of all time, but Grasso like a really good fighter. Why I think Namajunas is live to win is because she is better with the lower half, faster on the feet, faster from range, sharper from distance, more precision striking. And I think from distance going to have a little edge on Alexa Grasso. I think Thug Rose is a tricky matchup. Like, I think of Grasso and I think of the good pressure boxing and her being able to mix up combos, and like she's got some good hand speed and she's like a high caliber boxer for sure. But I don't feel as though she gets past Thug Rose, and I'm not ready to say Thug Rose is done. I mean, you look at Rose Namajunas and like you can judge all, but look at Blanchfield handling, right? But then, like, she did good work with Miranda Maverick, dominated Tracy Cortez, and looked damn good. She made it a good fight against Manon Fiorot. She broke her finger in the first round. I think that we're going to see Thug Rose get back on track. I think Thug Rose is winning this. What's crazy is, man, like, this really is perfection, the matchup. 32-year-old Grasso, 33-year-old Thug Rose, 5'5" Grasso, 5'5" Thug Rose. I mean, in some senses, it's like a bit of a mirror matchup between the two. Let's see. I want to see Alexa Grasso's reach. Let me find it real quick. Alexa Grasso, 66-inch reach, 1-inch reach. There's no advantage. These girls, tail of the tape wise, virtually identical. Fighting style, Grasso, the boxing and the combos, the pressure, good look to wrestle a bit, but I don't see her getting Thug Rose down. Thug Rose just lighter on her feet, better footwork, better striking from distance, and I think a little quicker and a little more precise. I think Thug Rose is taking this one home, and I absolutely love this fight on the card. I am so fucking happy that the UFC made Alexa Grasso versus Thug Rose Namajunas. It's a blessing for sure. Now, I want to talk about this fight. Umar Nurmagomedov, Deiveson Figueiredo. I'm assuming this is going to be on the prelims, probably the feature prelim of the night. I think this is kind of a perfect tournament. If Song Yadong wins, though, he might get jumped to a title fight. But let's say Song Yadong doesn't win. Let's say Sean O'Malley wins. I really feel like the winner of this fight would fight O'Malley. And I do believe Umar Nurmagomedov should get his hand raised against Deiveson Figueiredo. And I feel like O'Malley Nurmagomedov is a huge fight. Fuck a world title. That is just a mega matchup. Obviously, a lot of people are like pleading with the UFC. Please make the Sandhagen fight. I knew they weren't going to jump at it. I don't know. They're not feeling it. I think Umar Nurmagomedov goes out and beats Deiveson Figueiredo pretty handily. He might finish Deiveson. That'd be really good for him. The thing is with Umar, though, he's kind of a decision merchant. I think Umar probably lopsided decisions him, but maybe he stops him. Then I think Sean O'Malley wins a hard-fought fight against Song Yadong. I feel like matching those two up against each other, it's a main event. It's a fight night main event. They have to do it. They have to do it in the Middle East, something like that. Nurmagomedov, O'Malley, fight night main event. It's like the pay-per-view thing is gone now, so they don't have to worry about people buying it, right? But will tons of people tune into it? Absolutely they will. Needed. I think Umar Nurmagomedov is way too sharp for Figgy. I think he can take him down and beat him up. I think he can technically outstrike him. I think Figgy's showing signs of slowing down. Definitely, even the last fight against Montel Jackson, it was really close, way too close for comfort. Umar Nurmagomedov just handled in a decent fight against Mario Batista, who's an absolute marauder, man. And I feel like Deiveson Figueiredo I don't want to say he doesn't have it anymore, but I don't think he catches Nurmagomedov and like shuts the lights off. And I don't think he gets him in some weird submission, man, like jumping ghillie or jumping triangle. Like, I really think Umar Nurmagomedov should buzzsaw through him 30-27 lopsided decision. I would love to see Umar start getting some finishes, but him dominating people with good striking, landing some good shots, maybe he hurts him because he hurt Mario last time. Right? Didn't he get hurt by Mario? Oh my God, what am I mixing up? He got caught by the knee by Mario, but insta recovery. Great recovery on Umar's side, pushing a high pace. Umar Nurmagomedov's going to get on the cards. And him and O'Malley in the Middle East, maybe in Abu Dhabi or something like that, 2026, that is a banger fight night. There's a chance they put it on the White House card instead, but if not, if they wanted to make it an individual fight, because I would prefer 5 rounds between the two, but granted, it might end up being a 3-rounder. I think that's the next fight. Like, I think these two being on the same card is like setting up the fight between them after this, if they both get past their respective opponents here. And I do think that we'll see Umar Nurmagomedov get past the side of Deiveson Figueiredo. Listen, it is stacked, okay? It is stacked. But look who else we got on the card. Ateba Gaethje versus Andre Pelayev. I thought they'd give Ateba Gaethje Kelvin Gastelum to really try and give him like a jump in competition and, give him a shot to show out. But instead, they actually give him a deceptively good striker and Andre Pelayev, who I believe is a tricky southpaw. I can see Pelayev in my mind. I'm like 90% sure he's a southpaw. Long, skinny, good from the outside. Andre Pelayev is actually a difficult fight for a power hitter like Gaethje, though I think Gaethje is going to overwhelm him with power shots and probably pull off a stoppage win because I think Gaethje is just different. I absolutely love that fight. We also have Nikita Krylov and my boy Modestas Bukauskas on the card. I'm a big Bukauskas fan. I think Bukauskas knocks Krylov out. So UFC 324 is looking amazing. Also, okay, the UFC has announced they will be starting events at 9 p.m. Eastern time now for the main card of numbered events, as opposed to the 10 p.m. start. They did this years ago. They switched it, and then they switched it back to 10. Now we're back to 9. I like that. Being on the East Coast, I like when the card finishes around 12, 12:30, as opposed to like 1:30. And then, you know, the recap show comes out after. I got to stay up late after the event. I feel like it's better for all of us having the card start just a little bit earlier. So I am very grateful to see that the UFC is doing this heading into 2026 and beyond with the 9 p.m. main card start time. So some good updates and news. And that is not all as far as fights go, because also they announced the week after 324 is Volkanovski versus Lopes 2, UFC 325. They run it back. Oh my. Oh my. Wow. I didn't want to believe that this was the next fight. Not that I don't think Diego Lopes is great. Not that I don't love watching a Diego Lopes fight, but I was like, all right, we just saw this fight. Like Lerone Murphy was coming off a big win. Granted, it's a debut in Pico, but the knockout was off the chain. I was like, all right, they probably do something different, right? Oh, Movsar Evloev, but no, they're doing Diego Lopes in an immediate rematch with Volkanovski. Diego's got an iron chin and Volk's getting older. The way that Diego Lopes wins this fight is if Father Time has Volkanovski beat now, okay? Diego Lopes is 30. Volkanovski is 37. Can I say this? They talk about Dana White privilege. Like Diego Lopes kind of has a little bit of it too, because they are really trying to give him the back-to-back chance to beat Volk, right? Volk last fought February, excuse me, not February. April 2025, their last time. Diego Lopes fought one time since. He got the second round knockout by spinning elbow in September against Jean Silva. And, you know, Volk keeps on, you know, getting a little bit older. You know, Volkanovski, he's 37 years old. He's a, 7-year senior over Diego Lopes. Lopes had moments the last time catching him with shots. I do think Lopes is still making some improvements. Obviously, Volk looking to like maintain the skill set. This is a really hard fight to pick for me. It's like I really think my brain says, well, it should be Volkanovski a second time, right? But it's like I kind of feel like that's wrong, though. Diego Lopes just got a huge win against Jean Silva. Diego Lopes, younger guy coming into his prime now at 30. It's like the UFC is trying to have it be that Diego Lopes knocks Volk out and becomes the featherweight champ. They really want Diego Lopes as champion. It's because they want to do a big card in Mexico. That's I'll spoil it. That's why. And they need a champion from Mexico. I don't know if it's hype getting to me or it's like Thanksgiving bias, all the food in my gut. But I think Diego Lopes is live to catch him this time. I think Diego Lopes is going to find his timing this time. He caught him a couple times last go. And I think this go, he could actually put him out. So I'm calling it, man. I'm going with the side of Diego Lopes to pull off what will be the upset. It'll be close on the lines, but it'll be the upset and defeat Volkanovski this time. Now, if you're talking about a lock on that card, what the fuck? Is this true? I hope this isn't true. I really hope that this is just a rumor. I really hope this is jokes. I really hope that somebody's just pulling my leg, because I don't like it, but it seems real. I don't like it. I don't like it, bro. Yeah, Fox Sports Oz reported it. Wow, bro. Quillan Salkilld should knock Chinny Dariush out in one shot. Like, Dariush can't take a punch anymore. I called it in the damn BSD fight, and now he's turning around in 3 months. That is crazy talk. Why? Obviously, Salkild's a great prospect, and I'm hyped for him, but fuck, man. Why are they doing Dariush so why is Dariush doing this to himself? Like, I don't get it, man. I know he's all about just taking fights, but dude, I really think the chin is gone. I'm going Salkilled by KO in the first round. I think he's going to destroy Beneil Dariush. You can't trust his chin at all. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. I'm sorry, Benny Dariush. I'm sorry. Now, what's interesting is Lerone Murphy and Movzar going after it a bit. Missing the opportunity to fight one of the featherweight GOATs is what hurts me the most. It's not about who's the best anymore. It's about who's popular. Some complaints about Diego Lopes getting back-to-back shots. Fair, because Diego Lopes is getting the shot because of his popularity. 100%. He's a star. Granted, the knockout of Jean Silva was sick, but Jean Silva, you know, not ranked amongst the biggest of the bunch. Now, to be fair, though, Lerone, you're really good. But you beat Aaron Pico last time. Sick knockout. But it's Aaron Pico making a UFC debut. This guy right here, Movzar, on paper, is probably most deserving, though he's, you know, been a bit of a snoozer. Not that he's really not a snoozer, to be honest. He's a decision merchant. He doesn't finish people, but he's got great skills in all areas. Leon Murphy, I will give you the opportunity to fight the #1 contender. Tell your people you're ready to fight me on the same card as the championship. Yes, they need to do this. Movzar and Lerone Murphy should be fighting a proper #1 contender fight. Oh, it just makes me feel so good inside. Yes, this is like, we're getting back to the old era with these proper #1 contender fights. Yes, Movzar Evloev, Lerone Murphy, #1 contender fight, winner fights for the belt. No fucking arguments. That's the way to do it. Yes. And somehow Diego Lopes wins. They'll do Diego Lopes. They'll do it. Diego Lopes, Yair Rodriguez in Mexico City or something like that. And these two will be sitting on the sidelines like, what the fuck again? But I do like the idea of these two facing off in a proper merit-based #1 contender fight. It's not all on merit, though. Sometimes the favorite fighters get the title shots. That's just how this game goes. All right? So overall, very dope announcement for the Paramount deal. And I like that the card starts at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Am I disappointed by the main event? Absolutely. Not having Ilia Topuria to kick off the Paramount deal saddens me a lot. But I do think Pimblett versus Gaethje is a finish and guaranteed fireworks. And I like that at least, you know, we get to see Paddy the Baddie and Gaethje fight for like the proper shot at Topuria, though. Arman Tsarukyan versus Paddy Pimblett makes more sense because both guys are in their primes. And like Gaethje's still good, 3-1 in his last 4, but he's 37 though. It's just, you know, Gaethje doing the UFC the favor at UFC 300 is why they're giving him this one here. Though I think that just because, you know, they hooked him up with a favor ain't mean he's going to go out and beat Paddy the Baddie. So I'm going to go with the Paddy the Baddie side. I'd say I'm happy with everything, but I'm still just like with this like resounding dominant cloud of like, it's a little bit of like, oh, what could have been though? Warriors, why did he have to fuck? Why did his wife have to get divorced? Like, why they have to do it? Why she doing him now? He's got to fucking go to custody battle. Why can't they just come to a fucking consensus, man? And then we could have got that fight. It's fucking up the UFC. His relationship, his ex-relationship, his toxic ex-relationship, fucking up the UFC championship, you know? It is what it is. I'll take it as it is. And you know what? I'm grateful that we have a really stacked card, and I'm excited for more fight announcements. 325, there'll be fight announcements probably in the coming week or so. With 324 is jam-packed with star-studded talent, and just unfortunate what Ilia Topuria's got going on in the personal life, keeping him outside of the octagon. Happy Thanksgiving to all my American fans watching. I love you guys. Shout out to the people. Make sure you smash the likes. If you're new, subscribe. I will be away from the channel Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I will be back on Monday for Moneyline. Going on a little cruise vacation. So going dark for a few days, resting up before getting back on business for the final 2 cards of the year. Keep it locked in on the channel. Hit the like, hit the sub, turn the post notifications on, hype the video too. Let me know in the comments. What do you think of the matchups? Are you disappointed with the main event situation like most of us are? I assume so. You got some early predictions? I want to hear from you. Let me know down below. My matchmaking ability, if you watch my video, it's a cult classic. If you watched it from yesterday, pretty sharp. Pretty on point, Jay. I must say so myself. I may go live at some random point throughout the vacation, but it will just be through my phone. I won't have the setup with me. So, you know, Monday, back on business, marking your damn calendars. I'm bringing thunder with Moneyline Monday coming up and then getting into that UFC 323 fight week. It's a blessed day. I hope you guys enjoyed another beautiful video from me. I appreciate you guys all for the continued support. W in the comments if you got nothing to say, and I'll talk to you all real soon, all right? Love yous, guys. Check out the full card picks. They're already up for UFC 323 because I did it early. Definitely give it a watch. Talk to you guys soon. Much love. Peace out. Happy Thanksgiving. Good night.